I would like to present the introduction, background, fact, issue. Introduction. Petrobangka is a small island located about 24 nautical miles east of Singapore at the eastern entrance to the Singapore Straits. According to Singapore's, Petrobangka is home of the military broadcast station, helipad, distillation facility and communication tower. The hotspot lighthouse keeper resides in Petrobangka. Land reclamation work will be conducted within 0.5 nautical miles of Pedro América, a small island off the coast of Brazil. Lastly is the facts and issues. First, the Housing and Development Board, an entity under the Ministry of National Development, will be charged of the 7 hectares of land reclamation, which is roughly the size of 10 soccer fields. Following that, the ICT informed Malaysia and Singapore that the count had recorded the discontinuous which both parties had agreed to. Now that the legal ownership of Petrobangka has been established, there is no dispute that Singapore has the legal authority to reclaim land next to its island under domestic and international law. According to an International Court of Justice (ICJ) ruling from 2008, jurisdiction over such lease is contingent on which country possesses control over the territorial seas of Petrobangka or Middle Rocks. This reclamation action could help Singapore negotiate with the MSJTC for larger territorial waters for Petrobangka. This is because while talks are underway, conventional marine qualifications do not apply to Petrobangka or Middle Rocks.
Hi everyone, I'm Tam Ki. I'm going to talk about the key areas on conflict and issue for the case study. The main problem highlighted in the article is the ownerships of Petrobangka. Both Singapore and Malaysia has disputes about which country owns the island. Malaysia has major concern regarding Singapore land's reclamations of Petrobangka. This is because Singapore can gain the right to own a bigger water territory compared to Malaysian if they win the negotiations and secure the salt ledge. Singapore could use the MSJTC to post a bigger water territory for Petrobangka. Using domestic and international law, Singapore would be in the right jurisdictions to reclaim the land surrounding the island. In 2017, Malaysia filed a request for the revisions and interpretations of the ICJ ruling over the sovereignty of Petrobangka Island. In most cases, a revisions application over a court ruling is used to alter the ruling based on newly discovered facts. On the other hand, an interpretations applications on a court ruling seeks to clarify the judgments for the applicant party. Nevertheless, after careful considerations, Malaysia withdrew the applications for revision interpretations of the ICJ ruling in 2018. Both countries are interested in owning the Salt Lake Maritime feature. The ICJ ruling gave Singapore sovereignty over Petrobangka Island and gave Malaysia the Middle Rock Maritime feature.
Hi, today I want to talk about solving the conflict, which is there are 3 for the solving the conflict, which is Petra was originally under the Soviet of Jones later. The state of Singapore is secured waterway for international navigation in the east-west commerce between the Indian Ocean and South China Sea. Second, a Soviet of Petra passed to Singapore with the Johor Agreement. And thirdly, Soviet over the Middle Rock and the Soviet Ledge, which is a Petrobangka or Pacific, and the Middle Rock because of Johor historical claim to the Middle Rock. The court ruled in Malaysia should retain the status of Johor City. Thank you.
Next is explain why that strategy was chosen to resolve the conflict. Because the two sides failed to properly reach an agreement by bilateral mediation, they resolved the settled their disagreement peacefully through a third party by referring the territorial issue to the International Court of Justice. Next is the International Court of Justice decision was due to the fact that Singapore and its previous polities had taken many ways of sovereignty over the island, to which Malaysia and its predecessor has failed to respond. The International Court of Justice acknowledged that in some of cases, sovereignty was property may change as a result of a state's unwillingness to answer to the other acts, a title of the sovereign. Next is the International Court of Justice to declare that Singapore had acquired sovereignty over Pedra Branca extended to the Middle Rocks. It's neither of the conduct between UK and Singapore that led the ICJ. The court concluded that while Johor possessed the historical original claim that to Middle Rocks, Malaysia should keep the title as heir and their successor of the Johor Sultanate.
For my part, relate chosen solution with evidence, lecture notes, reference, research or personal experience. So the first solution is Pedra Branca originally under sovereignty of Johor Sultanate. There are articles that stated by author Dr. Yoshifumi Tanaka in 2008 about the terms of sovereignty over the court determined that the Sultan of Johor possessed original title. The second solution is that sovereignty over Pedra Branca passed to Singapore. The evidence provided to Singapore is claimed that Pedra Branca had the legal status of terra nullius, which means land belonging to no one in Latin language. The third solution is sovereignty over Middle Rocks and South Ledge, that stated that author Marcelo Cohen in 2013 in the article of ICJ judgment. South Ledge was also decided by the court by a vote of 15-1 that sovereignty over this low tide elevation brings to the state which territorial waters it is located.
Now, I will explain what is the important knowledge learned through the study of this case. From the study, I have learned that negotiation and conflict resolution play an important role in ensuring good condition or relation between the two sides so that the peace of country can be maintained. In order to successfully manage and resolve conflict during negotiation, they must understand the situation from both parties' point of view and have an interest in resolving the conflict. For example, the reclamation of land on the island between Singapore and Malaysia has reportedly sparked a conflict between them, and this issue must be settled to preserve their strong diplomatic connection. Besides any negotiation, they should strive to bring fairness concern to the surface so that both parties may comprehend one another's requirements and desire. This is because a finalized deal may be deemed unfair, necessitating renegotiation. For example, by agreement of both parties, the dispute between Malaysia and Singapore has been legally resolved, which is Pedra Branca belongs to Singapore. Next, negotiation must be conducted in appropriate environment and involve good communication between the two parties to ensure they are more satisfied and happier. Without effective communication, negotiation is impossible. In conclusion, all these strategies show how important management is in negotiation. Building trust, understanding, respect and friendship can make negotiation go more smoothly in the future.